Hi.
Hi.
How are you all? Seems like we were just here.
I know this is our third episode in 4 days, and I'm already
Already regretting is what you were going to say.
Well, I was going to say, never mind. I was going to say
it.
My level of annoyance is at an all-time high.
How come?
Is this something I did?
Yeah, somebody's back from Mississippi.
Hey,
That's the reason why you're
before
annoyed?
we started filming,
It's
he told
usually me.
He told me 2 days was enough, and I need to go back to Mississippi.
Every once in a while it's him. Every once in a while he gets on I can't stand a James Jag, but usually it's me.
It's totally Joe. I don't know.
And I'd like to take the time to thank our sponsors today.
Spoxers.
Sponsors. Diet Dr. Pepper 10.
Is that Leonard Nimoy's
Makes
underwear?
me feel like a real man. And Skyline Chili for gas.
Neither one of them
Gave us any money.
us.
But they did give me this free.
They gave you.
They gave me. I am now sponsored by Skyline Chili. You just don't know it yet.
They gave you that. They gave me nothing. Nothing.
Are you sure? Boy, that's loud.
Yeah.
When I let my lips off that. Those listeners of this water bottle that says Skyline, there's not water in this, Chad.
Oh, why did you put Dr. Pepper in there?
I didn't.
What's in there?
Diet Coke.
Well, why don't you just drink out of the diet?
Because all I had was a 2 liter, and I thought that looked too white trash for the YouTube.
I would say James's drink out of 2 liters.
I'm going to repeat what I said. I thought it was too white trash.
I wish I had a monocle right now.
I wish you had a monocle too. It sure would spiff up the show. Spiff and spoof. All right. So this is going to be something that comes out. Eventually.
On a day, which is not today.
In June. Now, what do you do in June, gentlemen? Maybe the July. Maybe sometimes at the 1st of the August.
You stay indoors because it's too bloody hot, and you're trying to avoid the melanoma.
It's that time of year when everybody goes, "Oh, I hate the snow. I hate the winter. I wish the summer would get here." And then June hits. God, I wish the winter was here. It's hot. I'm sweaty. I'm sticky.
Yeah, that would be James.
Actually,
and you moved to Mississippi. You didn't make that better.
No, but they offered me more money, which made it better.
I know. Well,
and I can
tell you, there is a sucking sound.
Yeah, there is a vacuum.
Every time we do this show, there's a sucking sound.
Yes, but it's just usually the ambiance. It's in the background.
I love those E.T. films and all those other ambiance films. That's Amblin.
Amblin.
I thought you were saying ambulance, but there actually is a movie called The Ambulance.
With James Earl Jones.
Yeah.
Is it anything like The Car? Because it should be.
I think the ambulance picks up people and kills them.
Yeah.
I think that's one of those Larry Cohen films.
I think you're right, yeah.
And he just passed away. And just for, not that anybody cares, I reached out more than once. Coincidence?
Hold on, let me be George Carlin. Obviously, you reaching out didn't make him not die.
Obviously, him turning down Bonehead did not prolong his life.
So maybe the moral here is if you want to live longer,
you should do the show when I ask. Right. Because I really wanted to talk to him about the stuff and cue the winged serpent. And it's alive.
We also killed Harry Dean Stanton.
Yeah, we killed Harry Dean.
Or did him not doing the show kill?
But at least we're not the Greers who killed a couple of people.
Oh, and that other guy. We did a whole episode.
Burt Reynolds?
No.
Oh, you're talking about
Gremlins and Joe Dante.
Yeah. We didn't kill Zach Galligan.
Oh my God.
No reality.
Yeah, I know you meant Dick Miller.
Dick Miller.
But I never reached out to Dick Miller. I didn't have his contact information.
Which means he did a better job hiding it than I have.
Which means, once again, Larry Cohen, you failed.
So what is today's topic? Because it is June, so we are talking about...
Well, what do you do when you're in June? You didn't answer my question.
You go on vacation.
Where do you go to vacation? You're going on vacation in a couple of weeks. Where are you going?
Scranton.
You're not going to Scranton.
Why wouldn't I be going to Scranton?
Have you ever been to Pennsylvania?
We're going to lose our Pennsylvanian subscribers.
Have you ever been to Scranton?
No.
Pennsylvania 65,000.
That's why I'm going.
You're not going to Scranton. Are you going on vacation this summer?
I'm thinking about going to the Poe Museum.
With whom?
My kids. They need to...
Why would you do that to them?
They need to learn the gestalt of the Poe.
I don't think that's what that word thinks it means.
It means to be greater than some of its parts, and I would argue Poe's word.
They get to go sit on a bench and drink a big thing of Jim Beam.
I was going to make a joke, but I didn't think an incest joke when we were referring to his kids would be all that funny, other than to me.
I went to alcoholic side.
Yeah, what's that say about you sick person? I said something else. There we go. It's funny because I'm sick.
Yeah.
Okay. I just got back from the beach. That's right. I went and visited Leo.
Yeah, Leo.
So we're going to talk about Danny Boyle's worst film.
Is it?
Man, it's.
Do you think? Which do you?
I've never seen it.
Which would you rather watch, The Beach, or its unofficial sequel, which came before, Beaches?
Oh man, that's hard to watch.
Beaches.
Yeah, Beaches.
Actually, probably The Beach because I've never seen it.
Well, yeah.
I've seen Beaches. I've seen so many beaches.
We had a conversation.
My son can say beach now.
Yeah, we had a conversation.
But it doesn't sound like beach. So it's real funny when he says, "Mom, bitch."
But we had a conversation.
Now you're messing with a son of a beach.
I giggled every time. Did not improve the situation. Now you know what it's like to be James.
Howard Stern made that show, Son of a Beach.
Yes.
That was Howard Stern produced that, right?
Yes.
On the FX for a while. Right?
So we're talking beach movies.
What were you going to say?
Nothing. I was saying we had a conversation off mic last night about me hating Deborah Winger.
Why? What is it about Legal Eagles that tears you up?
Every movie she's in, she annoys me. Just pulls me right out.
Have you never seen Legal Eagles?
No.
That's the eaglest of the legals.
I've seen Urban Cowboy.
Now, does that star? Who else is in it?
Sissy, get off that bull. See, I'm quoting.
Yeah.
Urban Cowboy. Like a rhinestone cowboy.
That's one of those movies where you go, why does it exist?
Do you hate The Ranch?
People love those. I've never seen it.
I've never seen it.
Oh.
So yeah, we're talking beach movies.
Do you hate Rachel getting married?
I didn't see it. So, back to what we were talking about. You like the beach?
I do like the beach.
James, you like the beach?
I mean, in small doses.
I enjoy the beach. If it hadn't been for the child, we'd have had a very good time at the beach. So I enjoy the beach. It can be nice. I like water. I like spectacle. I like fireworks.
I know. I was going to say, I like the beach. I don't want people to think that I'm anti-beach and that I want you to destroy the coral reef or nothing. But I do think, like, when it's hot and it's crowded, that's not nice.
Would you go to Disney when it's hot and it's crowded?
Yeah, I wouldn't if I had to, but there's no time left at Disney that's not at least somewhat crowded anymore.
Well, that's true. Yeah, everybody got on those bandwagons.
Yeah.
So, but I think the...
So we're going to talk about beach.
Yeah.
The beach movies.
Well, and I think the beach is... I think the beach is a classic vacation spot because other than getting there... There's no real expense. Like, you go to Disney, you best have a few.
Yeah, once you get you got to get there. You got to pay for your hotel room, and you got to take yourself out to some good seafood a couple of times, right?
Well, but I mean, there are literally, the term beach bum does exist. People who literally sleep on the beaches, all of that stuff, which sounds great in theory.
No, it doesn't.
I don't know. One of them turtles trying to make it out its way to sea gets up in your ear or something. Does that happen?
No.
Are you
well,
sure?
No.
It would to Chad.
It would happen to you. A pelican stole that cigar in your glasses that time.
Yeah, it did.
So,
in the mental image of a pelican wearing glasses, smoking a cigar, and for some reason it has to sound like Harry Carey to me. Chad,
I got these from Chad.
Would you eat the moon if it was made?
Anyway. So we were we're going to do vacation movies, and we decided on the beach because vacation we thought was too big of a topic, right?
Yeah, there's all sorts of vacation. There's vacation where you just can't take it anymore and you kill yourself. That's a vacation, right? That's is that a cry for help?
Yeah.
Notice that none of you.
Oh, there's that sucking sound again.
I'm sorry. I'll stop talking.
You can still hear it. Yeah. So, beach movies. When we decided that we would do beach movies, I thought, oh my God, we've done ourselves in. This is it. This is the final nail in the bonehead coffin. But no, we keep on rolling.
Yeah, we keep
no
on
matter
rolling.
who quits, no matter who moves to Mississippi, no matter what happens, Bonehead comes out with an episode at least every other, if not every week.
Yeah.
And this week
we haven't taken a sabbatical for more than 2 weeks in a long
2
time.
or 3 weeks, I think, is the longest one.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've had some that we've done. Yeah, no, we've pretty much rolled. We're on, this is episode 86, 85.
Yeah, we've thrown out a Facebook Live even when we didn't do. Even weeks that we missed.
Anyway, that's a whole other topic for a whole other show. Beach movies. How hard was it for you all to come up with some?
No.
I thought it would be rougher than it was.
But I'm a gentle, kind lover.
And thorough.
And thorough.
I'm thorough.
And let's be honest, I'm not doing any damage, if you get what I'm saying.
And now we're under agreement that movies like Saving Private Ryan are not a beach movie.
Well,
there goes Joe's list.
fudge dicks. I don't know what else to say. I was trying not to say fuck.
Well,
There's my one. There's my one.
Out of 7.
That's true.
But no.
Oh, I have 7 of the fucks.
There's 2.
Oh my God.
We said I had 7.
Yeah.
I'm saving 1 for Christmas. I sure do like to celebrate Christmas.
But
no. I mean,
I don't want to be a Christmas without a fuck to give. That's genius.
For who?
Me, I thought it was funny.
So, one other thing too, when you on your list, because me and James had a topic about conversation before you got here.
I was trying to put down
Was
that
there
child.
any beach movies in the past 10 years? Because I couldn't find one.
In 10 years, no.
Okay.
I'm sure there are, but I can't think of
I could not find
because most
one.
of mine actually are the 80s and the 90s.
All of mine,
except
yes.
for one.
All of mine, two are 80s, one's early 90s. So
Yes.
that seems to be when the beach movie kind of
Well,
went
I
away.
think probably. I mean, actually, the heyday of the beach movie is the 60s.
Oh,
I was
yeah,
going
no,
to talk
I
about that.
agree with that.
And there's one of mine that I'm going
Is-
to talk about is a 60s film. And if any of you take it from me, I'll stab
I
you. in the
didn't.
groin
I only
first.
have one. I only have one in the 60s.
Yeah, none of mine
films.
are in the 60s.
Because I actually thought about it and I wasn't going to do bitch. I've done a lot of those. Just didn't know about it at the time. Beach Blanket Bingo and yada 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 and the Frankie and the Net films, but I just don't. A, I haven't seen a ton of them, and B, I actually try to talk about things I really enjoy or at least have some sort of connection to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even when we come up with obscure ones, I'm sure Chad, you have an obscure.
Oh,
you
I
have a
have
connection
an obscure one, very obscure, and it's bad.
Who's going to go first then? If you're going to the beach this summer or you're about to go to the beach, you should be prepared. We're going to prepare you for the movies that you should watch, right?
Yeah.
So Chad, you go first. What is the movie they should watch before they go to the beach or if they're at the beach? They got the Roku or whatever.
Boy.
They stick it into the TV at the condo and then they plug in the Roku.
Ooh, okay.
What should they watch?
So we're going to start off with a high note, are we?
I could go, but I think it'd be funnier if you go.
So my first movie combines 2 things: the beach
Yeah.
and ninjutsu.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, does it involve? No, you go ahead. Because if it's not, I'll save mine.
Surf ninjas.
Oh, God. Does that happen at the beach?
That is all. Yeah, it's at the beach.
Does
You know,
Leslie Nielsen
I
in that?
think you've
Leslie?
actually just inspired me, by the way, to come up with a new third.
That's
You're
at
welcome.
the beach?
It's at the beach.
You know, I've never
It
seen
all
it.
takes place in San Jose, California. Well, no, I'm sorry. It takes place in San Jose, California to begin with, and then it moves on to a Asian island, which is actually Hawaii.
Okay.
But yes, Leslie Nielsen is in it. He plays the evil Colonel Chi.
I've never reached my chi.
The lead star is Ernie Reyes Jr. And it's actually the only time ever where Ernie Reyes Jr. actually starred in a movie with his father, Ernie Reyes Sr.
Ah.
Rob Schneider is a 30-year-old man playing a 15-year-old high school student. And then Philip Tan as Captain Ming. So what is Surf Ninjas? Surf Ninjas is about two brothers who are adopted, and they find out that they are the 2 princes to a kingdom, and that they each are destined to have specific powers. Ernie Reyes Jr. is destined to be a great warrior, where his younger brother is destined to see things that happen in the future.
Yeah.
And do you remember how he sees things in the future?
I've never seen the movie.
He has a Game Gear.
Even when I was young?
Yeah.
That came out in the early 90s.
91,
Right?
92.
Yeah, I thought that was a piece of shit when I saw the trailer.
Oh man, it doesn't get any better.
Okay.
But no, when I was little, it did have, because I love Ernie Reyes Jr.
Okay.
I think Ernie Reyes Jr. is one of those actors who just didn't get that break that he needed.
And his name is Ernie Reyes Jr.
Which you can also see him in The Rundown, which is which is a really good. It's probably Dwayne Johnson's best film. Maybe not. He's
better than Southland Tales because I'm a pimp.
And pimps don't commit suicide.
But
by the way, if you're listening or watching,
and you've never seen Southland Tales,
do yourself a favor and go out and check it out. Check it out immediately. It has some great quotable lines.
It has some great
There's a dream sequence with Justin Timberlake singing. Just do it. Right? There's a whole scene.
And it does. Rock delivers a line because he is accused of committing suicide, which tells you how weird the movie is. And his response is, "I'm a pimp, and pimps don't commit suicide." And by the way,
that's true.
Yeah.
How can he be accused of suicide? Well, you have to watch the movie to find out.
So, but no, there is a reason why the little boy is able to see the future through a Sega Game Gear. And if you don't know what a Sega Game Gear was, it was Sega's version of the Nintendo Game Boy.
It was color, right?
It was it had a color screen. It was massive. It fit into both hands. But there's a reason why it was used.
Yep, I'm good. Keep going. I'm much more of a Game Boy myself.
I just realized what he did.
Oh, you were not. You just had the game. You didn't have the boy for it.
No, I couldn't afford a boy.
Oh my god! The reason why
childish.
The reason why the Game Gear was used was this movie was actually largely financed by Sega.
Oh man! Are you saying Nintendo had something to do with the Wizard?
Yeah. A little bit.
What?
A little bit.
Are you telling me Mattel is the reason why I got all them Guardians? I got all them masters of their universe?
Yeah.
Are you going to do your rest?
So anyway, Leslie Nielsen played Colonel Chi, who he was half robot in the movie. He had a half robot. His face was covered by an obvious robot metal mask, and he had a robot hand. Because his face was stepped on by an elephant.
This is a plot point.
And there's a whole thing about
where the hell does the beach come into play?
Because they're surf ninjas. They're surfers who discover that they're ninjas. And there's the whole 30 minutes is them on the beach. The first 30 minutes of the movie's on the beach. And then when they can't figure out how to get to Leslie Nielsen's fortress, what do?
Surf.
They surf. They cut down a whole forest.
I'm sorry, I should have said Uber.
They cut down a whole forest and make surfboards in the span of about an hour.
A whole forest.
And then, by the way, one of the other funny parts, because I actually watched this movie. This is the only movie I rewatched in prep for this show. When they get on the ocean to surf, these are all supposed to be Asian characters, and suddenly when they're on the water, they're not so Asian anymore. They're white and African American.
You're saying those are stunt doubles?
Wait, you mean Sally Field didn't grow a mustache to drive that?
Yeah.
That is great. And you have to look at it in high def. But when that one scene, she's clearly sitting there with a mustache on.
So it was directed by Neil Israel.
I know who that is.
Yeah.
Police Academy.
Did he Police Academy?
He's one of the writers of Police Academy.
Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't see that. What I did see is that he directed a lot of TV movies. He directed Moving Violations, Bachelor Party, and one of my favorite road trip movies, actually, Breaking the Rules.
Is that the one with Charlie Sheen?
Yes.
I've seen that too. I'm almost positive he's one of the writers, but
I'll look it up.
Yeah.
While one of you are talking. But what really shook me was the fact that this movie was written by Dan Gordon. Do you know who Dan Gordon is?
Nope.
The man wrote Wyatt Earp, The Hurricane, and another one of my favorite movies, Murder in the First.
Really?
He wrote Murder in the First and Surf Ninjas. Oh, he also wrote Passenger 57. But
that's the best one. Yeah, Police Academy. He wrote Police Academy.
Okay, I didn't see that he wrote Police Academy. So yeah, Neil Israel wrote Police Academy. Mm-hmm. He also is apparently a songwriter because he wrote and performed one of the songs on the soundtrack of Surf Ninjas.
Neil Israel and Pat Proft. Pat Proft I'm friends with on Facebook and won't return my messages either.
Yeah. But yeah.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. But no, this is a terrible, terrible movie. But when we said we were going to do beach movies, it was the first one that popped in my head. As always, the really bad. Well, no, I take that back. I'm recanting that statement. It wasn't the first movie that came in my head. The second movie I'm going to talk about was the first movie.
James, who's going next? You or I?
I can go because I want to get this one just in case anybody takes it.
If you take this, if you take
it's
my
an essential film.
if you take my beach movie, I'm going to punch you in the face.
I hope nobody takes the actual good beach. Well, no.
I am going to have to do, because you alluded to it earlier, the first Frankie and Annette film,
God.
Beach Party.
No, in all fairness, the Frankie and Annette
You
movie.
can have that one.
They're
Well,
way worse than Surfing It.
No, hold on. They did 7 of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the
Yes.
first one was Beach Party. The other, they was followed by Muscle Beach Party,
Yeah.
Bikini Beach, Pajama Party, Beach Blanket Bingo,
Uh-huh.
How to Stuff a Wild Bikini, and The Ghost in the Invisible Bikini. Those were the 7 beach movies. But Beach Party gets the credit for launching the Beach Party movie. Brian Wilson of the Beach Boys
Beach Boys.
is an extra in it. He has denied that, but it has been confirmed by Turner Classic Movies, a bunch of other people, and he actually also co-wrote some songs for one of the sequels. The plot. Do you know the plot to Beach Party?
I'm assuming.
I didn't know
my.
that. And
Is
is
it-
Rickles? Is this which one's Rickles in?
It's not this one. This one has... The reason I had to do this one was who's in this one. But an anthropologist is the plot.
Okay.
Professor Robert Orville Sutwell is secretly studying the wild mating habits of Southern California teenagers who hang out at the beach and use strange surfing jargon. After he temporarily paralyzes Eric Von Zipper, the leader of the local outlaw motorcycle club called the Rat Pack, who was making unwanted advances on Dolores, she develops a crush on the professor. Now, the professor is older.
Not Dolores.
And Dolores was played by Annette. Her surfing boyfriend Frankie becomes jealous and begins flirting with Ava, a Hungarian waitress. Meanwhile, Sutwell's assistant Marianne further develops her crush on the professor. Von Zipper and his gang plot to bring down Sutwell, only be thwarted in the end by the surfing teenagers. Sorry to spoil the full movie for you, but the best part about this is the beach is pretty much ran by Big Daddy. Do you know who plays Big Daddy?
Joe.
Orson Welles.
No. Even better. Come on, you're thinking about a surf film. Who would be in the 1960s? You have to cast a surfing Big Daddy. Who would that be?
I actually don't know.
I have no idea. I couldn't even guess. Other than, I was going to say Ernest Borgnine.
No, it's Vincent Price.
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
but
yeah,
we
yeah.
haven't got the Dr. Gold.
Vincent Price played Big Daddy. And it was one of the first times that in the credits they did a line that we've seen in James Bond films since then, in Avengers movies.
I actually have
Marvel
never
films.
seen it.
It ends with Vincent Price, who has, it says, Vincent Price will return in, or soon to be seen in, The Haunted Palace. So when the first AIP started using Vincent Price, because Vincent Price worked for
Yeah.
AIP, so of course they would cast him in a beach movie. The best part of the film, if you're a Vincent Price fan, is his line. He literally shows up at the beach, and there's the pit, and he goes, "The pit! Bring me the pendulums, kiddies! I want to swing."
Oh, that's beautiful. And there probably was a big dance off.
Oh, you know there was dancing. It was a beach party.
Oh my
I
god.
want to go to the beach party.
So yeah, that was the entire
I've
movie.
never been to a beach
But
party.
Joe's right. The 60s did that. And what's funny is they created, AIP did it. Originally they sent
I didn't realize AIP was the first ones to start doing
the
it.
writer of this movie, they sent him to Italy to just find a film they could license effectively and bring to America.
Uh-huh.
And they went to a beach movie, and he said none of this is usable. It's all terrible. But they liked the beach idea. And so they just hired him to rewrite it and make it American. But it was all made to cash in on Elvis.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They needed a counter to Elvis.
I'll get to that.
Yeah. But anyway, so there were
What are you
7.
smiling about? What are you smiling about, bitch?
That's my.
I mean, beach.
There were 7 films with Frankie and Annette that are the classic beach party movies, and then they later on did a movie.
Segue!
All right, I'll stop there because evidently Joe's going to have some sort of hemorrhage.
We're going to have a short pause.
But beach party has to be mentioned. Vincent Price, beach party.
Segue!
So, one thing
is there Segway parking here?
It's
What?
segue.
before you get on to your movie,
Yeah?
I do gotta tell a story that I didn't get to tell about surf ninjas. So my mind was blown today.
Somebody showed him how a light switch worked. He ain't been the same since.
One of the many, many awful jokes in this movie is Ernie Reyes has to introduce a Dalai Lama type figure at his school, and he's called the Baba Ram.
Ba 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 ram, ba 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 ba
So he
ram.
turns into Baba
Ram.
Now here's where my mind was blown. I did not know that the real version of that song was Barbara Ann till today.
You're shitting me. This is what you were telling Christy and I upstairs.
Yeah. I did not know it was Barbara Ann.
You have said things to me and done things to me. I have less respect for you over that than anything
I seriously, for years, have thought it was Baba Ram.
Oh, real quick, I will throw in.
I was like, who the hell is... Why is there a girl named Baba Ram?
Do you know the... throwing out real quick, William Asher directed Beach Party.
Uh-huh.
Do you know William Asher's other claim to fame? Some people call him the godfather of the sitcom because he created a bunch of sitcoms, including Bewitched.
Oh, yeah.
And during that time, he was married to Bewitched, Elizabeth Montgomery. He was married 4 times. He married a lot of people.
As most people
And I've only got one. Do you ever feel like you've just dropped the ball?
You're never going to catch up to William Asher.
Everybody in my family's got 3. Oh, well. Anyway,
Segway.
This movie.
Get on a Segway and run into a wall, please.
This movie.
Who's kidding? It wouldn't even move.
Gives you...
The Segway or the wall? It won't move on the beach. It spins in the sun.
You can make a Barbara.
A man that didn't know that it was Barbara Ann is throwing out fat jokes. This movie has Bob Denver. This movie has Alan Hale Jr. This movie has Jerry Mathers. This movie has Don Adams. It was directed by the great Lyndall Hobbs, who did nothing else of import. It had Pee Wee Herman.
I have no idea what you're doing.
Frankie Avalon and Annette Funicello in Back to the Beach, 1987's Back to the Beach.
Back to the Beach. That's the one I alluded to that he almost had a hemorrhage over.
That was the only one I really wanted to do.
Never heard of it.
What?
I remember when it came out.
I do too. We watched it like a dozen times on video cassette.
I never watched it, but I knew because Annette...
You've never seen it?
I knew Annette was ill, right? That was when she was in the early stages.
Did she have Parkinson's?
She had...
Or she's dead now.
Yeah. She had... she made teddy bears. Did you know that?
I think she got sick sometime after. I don't know when she died, but Frankie Avalon and Annette Funicello in 1987's Back to the Beach. I can't believe it. Have you never seen it, James?
I never watched it.
You all have no idea what I'm talking about then.
Multiple sclerosis is what she had.
MS. So I feel that there's a ton of our audience out there, and by a ton too, that are going to remember that Pee Wee Herman has a huge dance number at the end of where he does "Bird is a Word." When you were making the joke earlier, I thought, oh my God, you know about that. And I was like, oh, I hope he doesn't take that away from me.
No.
You guys have got to go watch Back to the Beach. There is literally in the third act, Bob Denver plays the bartender. Alan Hale Jr. plays the bartender's little buddy.
Really?
I remember when it came out because my parents were talking about it, and they said, well, that they were talking about, Annette Funicello had announced that she was ill, her diagnosis, and they said, well, at least they're doing one last movie together because they did do so many movies together.
So Frankie and Annette grow up and have kids in the Midwest. They return to L.A. to visit their daughter who is shacked up with her boyfriend and tries to hide the fact. Oh my God, living in sin? They begin to have marriage problems when Frankie runs into Connie, who has erected a shrine to him in her nightclub. Their punk son is joined up with the local surf toughs, and things all come to a head when the toughs challenge the good guys to guess what? What are they going to challenge him to?
A surfing contest?
A surfing duel! That would be correct, sir, because it's an 80s comedy. Arr!
Now, you know what? Here's my problem with that, though.
Yeah.
I don't care. I haven't seen the movie, but I'm going to go ahead and make an assumption. It is not the best surfing duel ever. Chad, what's the best surfing duel ever? Come on, they even made action figures of this.
No idea.
Snake Plissken riding the wave next to Peter Fonda in Escape from L.A.
No, it's Joker and Batman in the 60s Batman.
Oh, yeah.
They made action figures recently.
I'm sticking with Peter Fonda and Snake Plissken.
I would kind of go with Joe on that one.
Kurt Russell and Peter Fonda, that horrible CGI shit. Woo, Snake!
Listen, Batman and the Joker, Cesar Romero, mustache painted over, riding surfboard against a back projection wins every time.
Let's get back to school. So, back to school, back to the beach.
And
I can't believe you guys. So, it was one of those that played in my house quite a bit. We rented it, and I think it played on HBO and other things. That's the reason why I'm kind of shocked you all never watched it.
Never watched it.
And there really is, in the third act, for no reason, Pee Wee Herman has a dance hum number in the middle of it where he does Bird is the Word.
By the way, the director of this, she didn't do much. This is the only movie she ever did.
Who?
I don't think it was a big success.
Lyndall Hobbs. It might not be a
Lyndall
she.
Hobbs. I don't think it was a she. Yeah,
That's
I just
a boy.
said they didn't do much. I looked it up earlier.
Yeah.
But I think you guys should check that out. I don't know where you find a copy of it. I honestly thought one of you all would take this from me.
No, I didn't. I mean,
I can't believe you've never seen it.
My parents watched the original, or well, they didn't watch, but I mean, they
All right, if you are
movies are
listening
not
or
big.
watching right now, will you please comment back and let me know who there has seen Back to the Beach? Because I didn't think this was all that obscure.
I was going to get on him about it having a lower ranking than Surf Ninjas, but it has a 5.8 and Surf Ninjas has a 5.
You know why? Dance number with Pee Wee Herman and Bob Denver's even has a joke where he picks up a coconut and says, "Oh, I was stranded on an island with a guy that could have taken 2 of these and built a nuclear reactor but couldn't fix one damn hole in a boat." See?
Yeah,
that's good. That's you. That's right. See, folks, that's good writing. That's quality humor right there. Because he's Bob Denver and he was Gilligan.
Yeah.
Did you want me to send that on home to anybody else here?
Actually, first he was Maynard G. Krebs.
Yeah, in the life and times of Dobie Gillis.
Yeah.
Well,
his name was Maynard G. Krebs.
I got the information, and none of it's all that important, nor has it got me.
No, I do remember when it came out, but it was not something. This may shock you, but while your mother loved Grease and things like that, unless it had John Wayne or Clint Eastwood on a surfboard, it didn't play often at the Thomas house.
That would have been amazing to see John Wayne do a beach movie.
That would have been the best.
I wonder how they would have kept the toupee on.
Yeah, no.
By the way, if you're listening or watching, John Wayne was bald.
Yeah.
That wasn't his real hair. Just FYI.
Sean Connery.
Burt Reynolds. Sean Connery. All these people.
Most of the Bond films.
Yeah. All right. I hit the microphone because I can't believe you've never seen Back to the Beach.
So my next one's probably going to be my favorite beach movie of all time. What beach movie can you say has
42.
a amazing lip-singing rock song, a Godzilla attack,
Back to the Beach,
and a boat race where a car turns into a boat?
Or what movie can you say where the director has a adjective at the beginning of his name?
And if you don't know who we're talking about, we're talking about Savage Steve Holland and One Crazy Summer.
That is a good one. That's probably more fun than Back to the Beach.
Yeah.
But you haven't seen Back to the Beach.
I haven't, but I'm pretty sure.
I haven't seen it since I was a kid.
I'm pretty sure it's not as fun as One Crazy Summer.
I don't know. I haven't seen One Crazy Summer in a long time.
Oh, God. I watched it a few years ago.
Hey, and my movie doesn't have a Murray in it.
Nope.
Your movie has a Murray.
And it has one of the best movie scenes in history with a Murray in it. The beans in the lawn chair.
It's been a long time. I remember it.
So anyway, we'll get back to that. So One Crazy Summer came out in 1986. It stars John Cusack as Hoop McCain, Joel Murray as George Calamari, Bobcat Goldthwait as Egg Stork, Curtis Armstrong, you know him as Booger in Revenge of the Nerds.
Oh, it seems like we just talked about this in the last episode.
And if there was a name that he played other than a character with a better name than Booger, it may be this one, Ack Raymond.
Huh. Savage Steve. Why don't we give Savage Steve on the show?
I would love to get Savage Steve Holland on this
show. If you're listening, Savage Steve,
I'll be shocked.
I'm going to get into his career in a second. But it also starred Demi Moore and then Joe Flaherty, if you know who he is. He was huge in Second City.
SCTV.
And also a previous mention from our character actors episode, William Hickey's in it.
William Hickey.
But no, Savage
The best of the Bill Hickeys.
Savage
Just
Steve.
opening a sweet can of Tab. Sorry for that noise.
Tab. Drink Tab. They sponsor Bonehead.
But Savage Steve Holland, he's
not.
also known for Better Off Dead and How I Got Into College. In fact, One Crazy Summer was his follow-up to Better Off Dead, and it stars Joan Cusack. And a lot of people actually call
John Cusack.
What'd I say?
Joan.
She not in it either?
I don't know. I've actually never seen Better Off Dead.
But anyway.
I want my $2.
But it's actually called Better Off Dead Goes to the Beach.
Oh, really?
That's what One Crazy... Sometimes some people call One Crazy Summer that. But Savage Steve Holland, he does a lot of TV work now. He's actually directed all the live-action Fairly Odd Parent movies. But one thing I didn't know about Savage Steve Holland...
Does he still go by Savage Steve?
Yes, still listed as Savage Steve Holland. He wrote all the episodes of Eek the Cat, which is an early 90s animated show that aired on Saturday mornings on Fox. It was a fantastic show about just about a cat who's just constantly getting hurt. Everything he tries to do hits his name, Eek!
So it's not bad.
It's not bad. It's actually pretty funny. And, it also, One Crazy Summer is also well known for its animated intro and ending, where they're pretty gory. Involves a goofy rhino who just gets basically...
Because John Cusack is an artist, right?
Right, he's an artist in the show. But it's also Savage Steve Holland who's really doing the artwork. This was actually also written by Savage Steve Holland. But no, there's just so many memorable moments in One Crazy Summer. Like I mentioned, there's a scene where Bobcat gets stuck in a Godzilla outfit.
Yeah.
And he's being run across town, and then at some point in time he actually ends up on a tiny set and destroying it, everything. The villain is just every stereotype of an 80s villain. Jock is actually there, and it's amplified 100 times over.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the spoiler alert, the boat race at the end is epic. Boat race.
Do they have to do it to preserve some sort of school or club or beachfront?
You're right on point. Have you not seen One Crazy Summer?
I have. It's been a long time.
But yeah,
I haven't seen it since.
They have to win
years.
the boat race to save the bar.
Oh. They took the bar?
They took the whole... Oh, I gotta save him for Christmas, so I give him out then.
Yeah.
But no, if you haven't seen One Crazy Summer, it's definitely worth watching. It is just every typical 80s cliche movie. It's in it, and it's done in an entertaining way, and it has an amazing cast.
I think the knee-jerk reaction would be to do a double bill with Better Off Dead, but I think a better double bill with that would be that and Summer School.
Yeah, agree.
That's a hell of a night.
Yeah. Oh, but man, Summer School doesn't hold up.
There's still some scenes in it. I've seen Summer School. No, what the problem with Summer School is that there's an actual plot points that have just been deleted.
Yeah.
If you go back and that you never noticed.
Like, why is Mark Harmon in a strip club, for a male strip club?
And everybody goes to the kid. Oh, there's a guy that shows up at the end of the movie. Oh, the one that's stuck in the bathroom. No, there's a whole actor who was at the beginning of the movie and at the end of the movie and is nowhere else. That's directed by Carl Reiner.
Yeah, I know.
I would love to ask him.
Yeah, what happened?
Of Carl Reiner.
Because you would think he would have enough tool to go, no, you can't cut this stuff out. But anyway, no, but we're talking One Crazy Summer. It's definitely worth watching.
Yep.
James, what do you got?
So, the extent that some people love the beach...
I like the beach.
And the things that they'll do to go there...
I love the beach.
Best summed up, the extremes, by author Robert Klein. Do y'all know author Robert Klein?
No.
Robert Klein is an American...
I know Robert Klein.
Novelist. He wrote novels first. Went on to be a screenwriter and then a filmmaker. He's directed a couple things. Graduated from UNC Chapel Hill. Started by writing his debut novel, The Horse is Dead. His second novel was called Where's Papa, which was adapted by him into a feature film directed by Carl Reiner and starring George Segal. For his screenplay, he received a Writers Guild... Whatever.
He's going to keep going.
Writers Guild Association of America Award nomination for that. His third novel was adapted into a feature film, Fire Sale, which starred Alan Arkin. And what would you do to follow that up? Well, of course, you would write a screenplay about two guys whose boss wants to kill them and lures them to his beach house.
You son of a bitch! You son of a bitch!
And that film, he didn't direct
son
it.
of a bitch.
That's my pick too.
That's
didn't
my
direct
pick.
it.
You son of a bitch.
It was directed by Ted Kotcheff.
Do you want? I have a list of Kotcheff's films, so
go ahead.
people would know.
As do I.
So because
Oh, but you look up the director, but nobody cares about the guy that created the
not
entire
really.
world.
You know what? He gave us First Blood. He gave us Uncommon Valor, and he gave us the most important film ever. Switching Channels.
Thank you. I thought you were going to shit. You also forgot. Did you say North Dallas 40?
No, it was too good. I have it here, but I wasn't going to say it because North Dallas 40 is probably his best film.
Yeah.
Well, Robert
Switching
Klain.
Channels is amazing. It's
Robert
fun.
Klain used.
That's All His Girl Friday, which is based on what's it called? It's not called The Paper. It's called shit.
So what were you going to say about Robert?
Well, Robert Klain used his clout after he wrote the first one, and it was the first movie is hated. Like Weekend at Bernie's is hated by critics.
Well, yeah.
But it played.
It's fun.
Oddly enough, when we were in Florida, we had HBO. It was on again 30-some years later.
By the way,
every day.
Can we just point out this is the first time in the 85, 86, 84, 85 episodes we've done where we've all three picked the same movie?
Yeah, it's right here.
It came out on a budget.
Like I said, so much so that I put down his whole filmography.
Did you mention what Robert Klain also did? Because I tuned out. Oh, well.
Go ahead.
He wrote National Lampoon's European Vacation.
Yeah.
I was about to say, yes.
Walk Like a Man, and The Man with One Red Shoe.
Oh, Walk Like a Man.
That's
Howie Mandel. I loved it as a kid. I wonder what it's like now. It's not.
Just FYI, for people who love weird B movies, the cinematography on Weekend at Bernie's was done by Francois Portat. I may be mispronouncing that. He was a French Canadian cinematographer who did not only cinematography for that, but also Killing Them Softly, Heartbreak High, Separate Vacations, and of course his final film before he passed, Johnny Mnemonic.
Oh, Johnny Mnemonic.
But Klain went on to direct the sequel.
Yes.
He couldn't direct the first one, but they did let him direct the sequel. I was hoping there'd be a trilogy where he started to decay and all that was left was like, a hand with some meat left on it. But it didn't happen.
Oddly enough, I've met the guy, the hired hand who... I'm sorry, James, go ahead.
Well, so the movie stars Andrew McCarthy, Jonathan Silvermore, Terry Kaiser.
Silverman.
Jonathan Silverman.
Sorry, I said Silvermore.
From The Single Guy.
Holy shit, he is going to cost us another interview before it's over with.
No, I was trying to jump ahead. Catherine Mary Stewart, Don Calfa.
Whom I've met.
Yeah.
Yep.
And he is in Return of the Living Dead at Bert and Ernie. He's a really nice guy. He's dead now. He's in a great episode of Barney Miller, too. Sorry.
No,
Are you forgetting somebody?
No, I wanted to bring up that it also...
Is it Terry
stars. Hold on, I'm jumping to.
He's in a great episode of The Golden Girls.
I'm jumping
plays an
to
Elvis impersonator. A Beatles impersonator.
I'm jumping to a more important one. You can get back to yours in a second, but it was the first film of Jason Woliner, Woliner. Do you know why that's important?
Woliner. Why?
He directed episodes of The Last Man on Earth, NBC's Parks and Recreation, Nathan For You, John Benjamin Has a Van, but more importantly, he directed and co-wrote all of a lot of the episodes of the Ambiguously Gay Duo.
Oh.
And his start in film was Weekend at Bernie's.
Why do you pick Weekend at Bernie's? It's not your type of movie.
Yeah, it's not your type of movie.
He and I understand, but that's not you.
What? I love playing with corpses.
But we still haven't talked about the most important part about Terry frickin' Kaiser.
Terry Kaiser.
He plays a dead man, and he's amazing.
He's actually not a bad actor whom I don't understand didn't get more work. He's actually also in Friday the 13th Part 7. He plays the psychiatrist. Yeah.
He's got 140 acting credits to his
151, I believe, is the actual number.
More than 140.
But, I mean, I don't know that people know who Terry Kaiser is. They know who Bernie is.
He was born in 1939. He is still acting to this day.
Is he really?
Yeah, he
played H.G. Wells in an episode of Superman.
Why don't we get him on the show?
I would love to talk to Terry Kaiser.
Andrew McCarthy, oddly enough, now is a director. He directed a lot of what's the George R. R. Martin Night Flyers.
And he actually he co-founded with his partner, actress Joy Lay, a acting school now in Texas.
Terry Kaiser?
Austin, Texas, yes.
We should get Terry Cosman on the show.
But yeah, I mean, you know, and most of the time he just has that little crooked face, and it's hysterical from the beginning to the end. Did you know that when they originally came up with this movie, what their intent was?
No.
It was originally a Corey Feldman, Corey Haim vehicle.
That makes sense.
But then,
it really does. That makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense. But
I was gonna say, I have diverse interests. I can like this. No, Rolling Stone.
It's not usually your movie.
Peter Travers of Rolling Stone actually gave it a negative review.
I watched him almost blow Tarantino in an interview the other day.
Well, he did not have that feeling toward this movie.
It was close. It was more sucking than me to the Greers.
Then calling it tasteless and crude. Said it was impossible to drag one tired joke around for nearly 2 hours. Like Bernie, the movie ends up dead on its feet. Roger Ebert echoed the sentiment, just arguing that movies that center on dead bodies are very rarely funny. 1 out of 4 stars. However, it was critic proof. It made $30 million on a $15 million budget, and then the re-airing rights and all of that stuff over time has made it.
The sequel was not successful.
No.
It's not a good movie in the sense of a well-made film, but I watched it when we were at the hotel room. It was on 2 or 3 times. I'd catch 20 minutes here, 15 minutes there.
It's very much, I think, to me,
and
to be honest,
enough, I don't care for either of the lead actors.
I think
I like Jonathan Silverman. I'm Andrew McCarthy.
I think one of the reasons that it sticks out to me is that it's probably the first black comedy I saw.
It may have been at that age. Yeah.
At that age, because I mean, there's not in the '80s weren't exactly known for black comedy either. Mm-hmm. So that's probably why it stuck out to me as a beach movie.
And by the way, it's also a weird thing of Andrew McCarthy's 2 movies where he dealt with a kind of a lifeless corpse because Mannequin. And that's another one that critics hate.
Yeah,
that it has a soft spot in a lot of hearts of people. Mannequin.
Mannequin versus Splash. You can only save one. Which one do you save?
Mannequin.
All right.
I would never turn either one of them on for enjoyment. Splash because it has John Candy. I don't know though.
When I was a kid,
G.W. Bailey's in Mannequin.
You know what's funny? He said he wouldn't turn either one of them on for enjoyment. That's the way his wife felt about him for years.
Oh! Yeah, well, nobody turns me on.
But also Meshack Taylor. But we're talking about Weekend at Bernie's.
All right. Are we done with Weekend at Bernie's? Whose time is it?
It's yours. I just went.
We got time?
We got time.
You son of a bitch.
Yeah, no, I'm kind of screwed.
I mean, I got 3 more, but you son of a bitch. All right, so what movie was directed by, I'm going to start doing this like Chad, came out in 1980. It dealt with 2 young adults falling in love, having a romantic affair by themselves along the beach. It was directed by Randall Kleiser.
Is this Blue Lagoon?
He gave us Grease, Flight of the Navigator, Honey, I Blew Up the Kid. It starred Christopher Atkins.
Yes.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
You guys ever heard of this little movie?
Yeah.
Christopher Atkins, and who else? You know what? It didn't pull up her name.
Oh my God!
Osby son of a bitch. What's her name again?
I don't know what movie you're talking about.
Yes, it's Blue Lagoon.
The Blue Lagoon.
Brooke Shields?
Brooke Shields.
Good God.
After surviving a shipwreck set in the Victorian period, the kids are forced to raise themselves as they enter their teen years with no adult supervision following the death of their fellow castaway.
That movie's terrible, right?
With a paradise setting as their backdrop, no one to enforce social norms, the pair falls in love and creates life for themselves. So basically what it is I can remember watching it as a kid, so this is probably the reason.
It's a remake, by the way.
I'm jacked up.
Of a remake.
I don't know that it's terrible. I haven't seen it since they actually made a sequel.
Yes,
Return to Blue Lagoon.
1991.
Yeah, so Blue Lagoon, Chad.
Yep.
I saw it more than once. My mom liked it for some odd reason. And it played a lot in my childhood. Incest. Which is a sentence I never wanted to say ever in my life. But they're basically on the shipwreck. They survive.
They're cousins.
They're brother and sister.
Oh.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, it's cousins.
I thought they were brother and sister. Are you sure?
Tell the story of 2 young children marooned on a tropical island in the South Pacific.
2 young cousins. I'm sorry. You're right.
Yep.
You're right. 2 cousins. They're marooned, so it's not as bad. I actually think it's more interesting with their brother and sister, but that's
because you're a perv.
I don't think it's because of perv. I just think that's more an interesting idea.
They cut that whole scene out of Flowers of the Attic.
Yeah, well, that's true, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that more interesting? Anyway, for storytelling aspect, I'm going to stand by that. Probably shouldn't die alone on this hill, though, as we move along. So the one captain who's with them dies, and it's just the two of them. They have to grow up, and then she gets pregnant, and then they have a baby, and then they're saved.
Huh. And then they never talk to each other again.
So, do you know the history of that movie, though?
I know.
It's based on a trilogy of books.
I've never read the books, no.
The Blue Lagoon was a novel that was written by... Let me get this out.
So, you need to watch this with your 7-year-old at the beach.
Yeah. Henry de Vere Stockpool. First published by T. Fisher Unwin in 1908. It's the first novel in the Blue Lagoon trilogy, which also includes The Garden of God, which came out in 1923, so 15 years later, and The Gates of Morning, which is 1925.
I wonder what the other two books are about.
So the novel ends. It's kind of a cliffhanger. They're running out of food by the end, and a ship comes across one of the lifeboats, and because they try to get off the island. And they find 3 unconscious bodies. And there's a bush of fruit, a twig off of it. They pull up a bush to eat off of.
Mm-hmm.
And it's got one berry left on it. And one of the captain finds them. And are they dead?
That's how the movie ends.
No, sir, they're asleep. And it's ambiguous whether or not they'll be able to revive them.
Yeah, that's how the movie ends, with the berries that'll kill them. Yeah. That's good. Oh, it's a long time since I've seen it. I forgot all about it.
So 1908 was the novel. It was originally actually adapted into film. The reason they made the sequels is they licensed it for a silent film, The Blue Lagoon, in 1923, which starred Molly Adair and, Joe, you're going to giggle, and you are too, Chad, Dick Crookshanks.
Why would I giggle?
Because you're a pervert.
Richard Straightshaft.
The Blue Lagoon was remade again in 1949, a film based on the novel starring Gene Simmons and Donald Huston.
It could not have had the same plot in 1949.
I would imagine. I'll pull it up real quick.
No, don't. Don't. Let's not kill. Let's not. Yeah.
The film has major thematic similarities to the biblical account of Adam and Eve in the 1949 edition. There you go.
All right.
So they made it more biblical. And then remade in 1989. Now, for those that are diehards...
1980, yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry. For those that are diehard, the Lifetime remade, or did a new version called Blue Lagoon The Awakening in 2012.
Ooh. Made their Johnnies tickle.
And that was the cover, probably not as high. Look it up. The cover for it is not exactly...
It looks like Jared Paddle Duck.
That version starred no one and nothing. But Christopher Atkins does do a cameo in it because he needs to work.
By the way, you stole my thunder on that. I didn't do that to you. You took away my Blue Lagoon. All right, first, you son of a bitch. You took away Weekend at Bernie's.
No, I knew the Blue Lagoon had a literary history.
Have you seen it?
The silent version?
The version I'm talking about.
Yes, because it used to air on Fox every 15 minutes. Because I guess it was cheap to get the rights to.
Oh, really?
In the afternoons. See, the mornings you had your Blackbeard's Ghost, your Tron, or your World's Greatest Athletes, because they cycled those every weekend. And in the afternoon, it's Blue Lagoon. I never watched it because I thought it was boring.
Yeah, well, he stole my third one.
It's not boring.
So I'm going to pull this one right out of my ass.
If you take my third one, I'll kill you.
Trust me,
You've already taken ours.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You sitting there, you four-eyed devil.
So speaking of, I'm going to steal your thunder by doing this.
What?
I'm just going to read the plot point. I'm just going to read this description from IMDb. Randolph Spencer and Martin Brubaker were ex-Navy SEALs turned mercenaries who hired themselves out as soldiers of fortune for a very high fee.
Nope, that's not my third one.
Nope. On their mission, Spence and Brew rely heavily on thunder.
Oh, God.
which was a souped-up, gadget-ridden speedboat originally built by
This is the second damn time this has been brought up to me in the last 5 days.
Seriously.
Yes.
For the U.S. government. I am talking about Thunder in Paradise.
Because it got argued about whether it was an original movie or was it a show or did they do the show and break it up, and they were arguing about it on my floor, and they came to me. So this is the problem with people knowing that you're a geek. I've never seen them. I don't know. Have the answer. Stop asking me, Andrew!
So the movie, it was originally a movie that was actually a pilot to get a TV show made.
Right?
So that's what it was. It was a made-for-TV movie that was actually syndicated.
Who was the other Thunder?
So it's
the Barbarian.
It's
Thunder.
Thunder was the boat. It starred Terry Hulk Hogan and Chris Lemmon, who you would know as Jack Lemmon's son.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. And Carol Alt.
You're aging superstar Carol Alt.
But
that's a line from Family Guy.
It all took place on the beach. They worked on the beach, and it was a vehicle to have all the former WWF/WWE wrestlers appear at, like, for example, there's a scene where Brutus the Barber Beefcake and Jimmy Hart are playing volleyball for some weird reason.
I played volleyball once.
It was created by Michael Burke.
You're just reading.
I am. I'm just reading because I pulled this one out. But he also created Baywatch, and he wrote the Baywatch movie. And he also wrote Baywatch Nights. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, Thunder in Paradise, which is a beach TV show. So this guy is pretty much just a one-trick pony.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's my third pick.
James?
Thunder in Paradise, because Weekend at Bernie's was pilfered.
That means you stole it.
He would have done it before it got back to you anyway.
No, he wouldn't have. He would have done. No.
I've got 3 or 4 here. I was going back and forth. I still have 2 more. Because I have to be more prepared, because that son of a bitch, 4-eyed devil, stole.
I seriously thought nobody would bring up Weekend at Bernie's.
I was afraid one of you would take this from me, because it was a worn-out VHS by the time that I saw it.
Your mom's a worn-out VHS.
Let's say...
No, she's a Betamax.
Your mom's a wore-out Betamax, which means that your tape will fit.
So y'all are familiar with Acapulco Heat, right?
Yes.
No.
Okay, so Acapulco Heat, there were 2 series.
I am familiar with the Guatemalan scratches.
1993
really?
to 1994, Acapulco Heat was a show. They tried to revive it with 2 of the original cast members in 1998 and 1999. I'm not bringing it up for that. I want to say the guy that tried to launch the remake has 3 credits to his name as director. Acapulco Heat did 2 episodes of the relaunch in 98-99. 5 years earlier, 1993, Young Goodman Brown. But his first film is the beach movie that I want to talk about. And that would, of course, be the epic film Surf Nazis Must Die.
Oh, gee. I almost brought this one.
I've never seen it.
I've actually never seen it. That's why
here's a one-sentence summary from IMDb. When the son of a gun-wielding woman is murdered by neo-Nazi surf punks in the post-apocalyptic future, his mama hunts them down for some bloodthirsty revenge. Now,
this is a trauma film, right?
I believe so. Yeah, it was Peter George, who was the director, came up with the original story. The screenplay was done by John Ayer, and it is the only thing he ever did. I don't know if it was a trauma film originally or not, but it's linked to them now because it's a lot of the references. It stars Gail Neely as Mama Washington, Eleanor Mama Washington. She's a Naked Gun 2.5.
The Smell of Fear.
Surf Nazis Must Die and Earth Girls Are Easy.
They are. I've been told.
That's pretty much most of her credits.
She's the best friend, and it doesn't matter. I don't care. I've never heard of this piece of shit. Why are we talking about it?
Because when I was thinking about beach movies, I'm like, what piece of crap scarred me for life that happened at a beach? And this is what I came up with. It literally stars no one and nothing. No, it's a very low budget film. But that's the plot to it. Is there's surf Nazis, and she has to fight a team of surf Nazis with guns.
And there's a quote: "Taste some of Mama's home cooking, Adolf."
I want to see it now.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a terrible movie, but like I said, by the time I got it, it was a worn out VHS, and this is true. It wasn't even at like Movie Warehouse, which in Moorhead. There was an IGA in Carter County that had 3 shelves of movies that they rented out.
Yes.
And it was one of them. So they only had maybe 100 movies total. And somebody there at some point convinced them, you know what you need to get to rent out? Oh, don't worry about E.T. Nobody wants to see that crap. Get Surf Nazis Must Die. And it worked. Because it took me a long time to get to see it, even when I was younger, because my brother was like, you've got to see it, we got to see this movie. And it was always out.
Okay, so let's be honest. We're going to go into a background history of movie rental places, because when movie rental places, when they had movies to rent, a lot of times, because VHSs weren't sold,
right?
So to the public, so VHSs cost
$100,
$200, sometimes $200, $300. Mm-hmm. So Surf Nazis Must Die probably was a cheap buy for IGA.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Because I don't think Troma was charging if it is a Troma film. Which,
it is Troma. It was Troma.
So
now I didn't know this is something I just looked up. Troma has now released a director's cut of it. The original cut, Joe, if you are interested in seeing it, don't worry, it won't take up much time. It's only 80 minutes, unless you get the director's cut, which is 85.
No.
Popular character names are...
Ghost!
Scare the crap out of me.
Same here.
Popular character names used in the movie are, and you can guess who they're named after, Adolf, Eva, and Mengele. And another fun quote from the movie is...
Not Mengele?
Whatever. The point is...
One of us has a PhD.
Yeah, and I don't have to pronounce German names.
Not yet. But keep with these politics.
Another quote from the film, Joe, is Adolf screaming, "I am the Fuhrer of the beach."
This is awful. Why are we still talking about it?
Because I think if this is my turn to be Chad and pick up something that nobody will find ever. And,
I'm going to go to the IGA in Carter County and get it.
That IGA went under, but if you build a time machine... one thing that is relevant about this, though, is that when it was released in the United Kingdom, which shocks me that it was, they had to remove 25 seconds of footage of, this is a quote, nunchuck and sword violence. So Surf Nazis Must Die. If you see an American cut, you will get to see all the nunchuck and sword violence.
So we all get 3, and this is my final one. I'm having a hard time. Should I go with the one I like, or should I go with the one that is probably more...
Well, the whole thing is the one
mention,
you like. So go do it.
But it's not as fun.
Okay.
Is he going to do Jaws?
No. I have some honorable mentions. And Jaws should... I mean, if you're going to the beach, watch Jaws.
Unless you're that guy that was in Hawaii and got ate by a shark.
It really was playing when I went to the beach the first night, and I did name my son Quentin, and it's Quint, and people think it's Tarantino. It's not. I really just always liked the name, and it's probably from Jaws, because they call him Quint in Jaws. So, yeah, Jaws is good, but no, that's not the one, too. Which one should I do? Come on, tell me.
I said do the one you like.
All right.
I'd say do the one not that Chad says we should not
okay,
do.
So I'm going to give you a little information about it. It's Castaway.
Oh, yeah.
It's actually...
I came close to doing that one instead of Weekend at Bernie's, but
Castaway is one of my favorite movies. I don't know if you two know that or not.
Yes.
I saw it the first time when it was called Robinson Crusoe.
It's more interesting than that.
It's not as interesting as Swiss Family Robinson.
It is
Shut your horse mouth.
God,
Robinson Crusoe is a literary classic.
I prefer Robinson Crusoe on Mars, but that's fine. Anyway, it's more interesting than that. And I know I rewatch it probably every other year or every year, and it's on something, and I'll just stop and watch. Chad's going to stab me, but it's probably one of... I don't know if it's my favorite, but it's right up there with my favorite Robert Zemeckis films. It was written by William Broyles. It actually stars Tom Hanks, and Tom Hanks had the idea for the movie. Mm-hmm. Tom Hanks said, what would it be if we actually did a movie about a guy who was stranded on an island, if you did it realistically? Mm-hmm. The thing is Tom Hanks I don't know how popular this story is or what, or how many of our viewers know it. Tom Hanks had to lose a lot of weight.
Yeah.
Well, you couldn't just do that overnight, and this was made in the 90s where they did use CGI. A lot of things are removed in The Island from CGI, and I think it has some great CGI in it.
Yeah.
Even for the 90s, it looks fantastic. Why, did that come out in 90 or 2000?
It came in 2000, I'm pretty
2000.
sure. That's what I was looking up.
It still looks fantastic.
Yeah, 2000.
The interesting part of this movie is that, well, you couldn't just do that. So you shoot, and then you shut down a movie for 6 months to wait for Tom Hanks to lose weight. What I find fascinating, other than I love the movie, is that they did a whole other movie in between so that they could make that financially responsible decision, and that movie was What Lies Beneath, which is, I think, one of the lesser Robert Zemeckis films, but it was a huge hit.
Yeah, it was?
Yeah, it's Harrison Ford and Michelle Pfeiffer.
Yeah,
look it up. It was a big hit. Yeah. What Lies Beneath. It's him ripping off Hitchcock. He even said in the making of it, I thought whatever Hitchcock would do is what I'd do. And I guess it's okay. I don't particularly care for it.
I don't care for it either, especially because you see the
twist coming from a mile away.
Yeah.
A mile away.
Like 20 minutes in, you know.
Yeah, it was like, Harrison Ford's totally killing people.
Yeah.
Right? Did I just ruin it for everyone?
What? Indiana Jones killed 10 people?
But Castaway, and I think it is a cliche. Well, hold on. It's probably, what is the word I'm looking for, you two? The ending, the crossroads. It's a little, I wouldn't say it's tongue-in-cheek, but it's very much on the nose.
Oh, yeah. It beats you over the head a little bit.
Slightly a bit. And I notice it more now than I did, but I still love that movie. And I just love the idea of, once again, because I think it gets part of my personality of, I don't think that there's any, like, not necessarily, and I don't mean this, soulmates. I don't know that thing actually exists. I don't, these people and their Prince Charming or Prince or their princess or this was meant to be. I don't know that I ever believe in meant to be in life. It's just who I am. And I think it's a perfect movie for me that it underlines that you make the best of what you got and life goes on and you do go breathe and you do the next day. In fact, so much so that it beats you over the head with it. Did I get too serious for you all? You guys are looking at me weird. Do you guys believe in meant to be?
If it's meant to be, it'll be. Baby, just let it be.
I'm just curious.
No,
You want to hear what my follow-up was? What I was struggling was? I almost did Blue Hawaii because we really should have done an Elvis film.
Well, no,
and I'm kicking myself
actually
because Elvis did.
You should have done Blue Hawaii, sir.
Well, that's kind of the one.
No, Clambake.
What? Blue Hawaii was directed by Norman Taurog. I can't say his name. He did 7 of those Elvis movies.
Did he do Clambake? You know what Clambake's about, right? Nothing. It's about a Clambake.
He also directed.
It was just supposed to be.
He also directed Dr. Goldfoot and the Bikini Machine for You, by the way.
Vincent Price.
Yeah.
There were 2 Dr. Goldfoot films.
Yes.
That's
how successful they were.
Yeah, because.
So yeah, Castaway. Castaway takes place at the ocean on a beach, and it just means a lot to me. I love that movie.
And about how depressing the beach can be.
It's sentimental. It is probably overly sentimental. Is probably the word I was looking for. I apologize. I get that. I still love it.
You know, the part, and I saw that movie in theater, and I'm not a big fan of it because I think it is. I think we've seen that story too many times. To me, it's almost it's the David Caruso, the Being Standard, the Alexander Selkirk stories, all of those.
Yeah, you see the. I disagree because I think you see that plot device too many times, but I don't know.
You don't
that's
see
the
the
same
emotional
story.
Toll that being alone on an island.
I don't know that a lot of actors could have pulled that off except Tom Hanks.
Yeah, I think. Well, and maybe it's because
and watch it.
I think
it's the same reason I love Wall-E. There's 30 minutes of that movie where you're just sitting around.
But and maybe that's
a ton of dialogue.
Maybe the reason that I feel differently is because I've read Robinson Crusoe, and when I read it,
good for you.
You can bring that yourself. And if you read about Alexander Selkirk, who Robinson Crusoe was based on, who they picked up, he had clubbed goats to death that lived on the island and built clothes out of them. So just imagine pulling up to an island and there's a goat wearing guy going, "Hey, can I go home now?" 4 years, 4 months stuck on an island. That's a true story. Alexander Selkirk, look it up. It's historic.
Wow.
And that's what Robinson Crusoe was based on.
But don't you think that's more of an adventure story?
Not for Alexander Selkirk, it wasn't.
You know what I mean, smartass. Robinson Crusoe is more of an adventure story. Where I agree with Chad, Castaway is an emotional toll.
But I think there's other stories that look at that idea, and I'm going literary, and maybe that's the problem. Because, I mean, you've got Shipwrecked, you've got all those, and
I mean, Gilligan's Island dealt with it a little
No,
Gilligan's Island dealt with shipwreck just the same way that dealt with World War II.
You know what?
Internment camps.
You know what? I think
Hogan's Heroes.
I think a movie about being stranded that has more effect on me than, and not a movie, a television show that has more effect on me than Castaway does is actually the Twilight Zone episode where the guy opts to stay behind after they get the option to go back to Earth.
Is that because his girlfriend blows up?
No, that's the robot one. But it's the guy, he's been in charge so long, and when they finally get rescued, he realizes he'll lose power, and then at the very end, they all leave, and he goes, wait, come back, I want to go, and he's stranded. And I think that, to me, because he has willfully made himself that way, and he realizes his mistake, and then he's stranded there. And I think that plays different to me than... Because I think my problem with Castaway is it's all very convenient.
What's convenient?
He makes it.
He loses a woman he loves. His life's ruined. The guy's friend, his wife dies of cancer. He's missed out on all these things. And he comes back as a broken, different man who has a different understanding of life.
I agree, but
I don't know that I agree that that's convenient.
I don't... Yeah.
And the shit that he goes through to build the thing, the raft to get off the island.
Because, you know, when he crashes, you actually experiencing the fear and isolation of what do I do?
Yeah.
And then the dental work.
Well, and the dental work.
Yeah, I don't know that I agree that it's convenient.
And then the mental collapse. And then, you know, him telling the story of going up to that tree. It's
Oh, we're about the suicide. Yeah. And then you find out about it later.
Yeah, and then you find out about it later.
That's told after he gets off the island.
Yeah.
It's alluded to.
Yeah, it's alluded to.
Because he doesn't want to go up there to get the videotape.
Right. So it's... Yeah, I thought it was pretty...
No, and I mean, it's a well-made film. It's all of that. I just... it doesn't have that effect on me.
In fact, the more he talks about it, the more I like Castaway.
I mean, it's no Deer Hunter.
Oh my God!
All right,
we're almost done, boys. Is there any notable?
You know, one movie that I do have and it's a franchise of movies.
We gotta wrap it up.
It's a franchise of movies.
No, we gotta wrap it up.
It's a franchise of movie that
you said franchise 3 times
because you keep interrupting.
I don't know what that's like.
You all want to pull this today? Really? You all want to pull this? I said to my wife, I'm like, beach movies. And she said, you know, this is weird, but the first movie that I think about when you say beach movies is the first Pirates of the Caribbean film.
Yeah.
And I got to thinking about it.
That's a good one.
It really is.
Unfortunately, they made a bunch more.
Well, you know, but I was actually thinking about the beach scenes. If you boil those movies down to the scenes that take place on beaches, I was like, those are some of my favorite scenes in the movie. When they're stranded with Keira Knightley and he's
fine if Keira Knightley's on the island and he's stranded and there's rum.
Oh my God. And that entire scene and where he has to reveal how he really got off the island. And even the sequel where there's the weird crab creatures and they're all supernatural mystical. I'm like, those are fun scenes. It turns out those movies are great as long as you don't leave the beach.
Yep.
So Pirates of the Caribbean was an honorable mention. And then Finding Nemo I thought of because it's beach adjacent.
Finding Nemo was on a couple of lists, but
is it a beach movie?
I don't think of it as a beach movie.
It's an ocean movie.
Beach movie.
How's it a beach movie?
I don't think it's a beach movie.
Because there's these birds on the thing that go, mine.
Well, that's not on the beach, though. That's that's right next to the doctor's office.
Which is...
Dentist's office.
Beach adjacent.
I don't think it's beach adjacent. How do you know? Did you call a realtor?
No, but
isn't it Australia? They're in Australia.
Right? Yeah.
I don't think Finding Nemo is a beach movie.
Okay, fine. I was trying to do something for the kids.
Clearly, you need to stop.
At least I'm not sitting here.
Megan's Law has pointed this out time and time again.
At least I'm not sitting here talking about how I used to watch Blue Lagoon with my mom and have incest thoughts. Weirdo.
I didn't have thoughts about incest. Oh, thanks for making it awkward, Joe. What's your notable mentions?
Go ahead.
None. I mean, Jaws. That's the beach movie. What did you just do?
Nothing.
All right, Jaws. That's the one. It blew away.
What's some of the Jaws ripoffs? And by the way, you mentioned Jaws.
Great White, Orca. I finally watched Meg.
And
it's all right.
it's all right.
I need to read the book.
Y'all mentioned Jaws, and it actually made me think of all the land shark things.
Okay. Fine. I got an honorable mention. Police Academy 5 assignment.
Miami Beach. And that should have been what I opened up with. Because actually that's my favorite Police Academy movie.
It's my favorite.
It's that one and not the first one are the two best. 5 Miami Beach.
5 without Steve Guttenberg.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Steve Guttenberg gave up and said, I'm done. I'm washing my hands. I'm giving up the ghost.
Yep.
And it got better. Anything with G.W. Bailey is going to be amazing. Just like Mannequin.
Yeah.
And Short Circuit.
What is Steve Guttenberg up to nowadays?
He's about 5'10".
No, he's still acting. I don't. Anyway, we're off topic.
Lava Lantula. Almost all the cast from Police Academy is in Lava Lantula. It came out a couple years ago.
What?
On Sci-Fi Channel, Lava Lantula. They're tarantulas that are made out of lava. It was on the Sci-Fi Channel. It had the guy that did the voices. It had him. It had
Michael Winslow.
Yeah, Michael Winslow. You saw him at Daytona
Beach.
There you go.
So none of y'all brought up The Descendants with George Clooney?
I saw it on every one I was looking at, and I did not think of it as a beach movie.
I don't think of it as a beach movie.
I like it. It's a good movie. I enjoyed it. No, not a beach movie. In fact, if you're going to the beach and you say, should I watch this Oscar-winning movie for best writing, The Descendants, or should I watch Police Academy 5, Miami Beach? I'm telling you.
How about From Here to Eternity?
War movies, and you yelled at me.
No, I didn't yell at you.
Well, Chad yelled at me for not bringing up movies that I've already brought up, and we brought that up during war movies.
Another one probably that we could have mentioned in classic.
No, we're not talking about Gidget.
Okay, we're not going to talk about Gidget.
And Where the Boys Are.
Yeah, I'm just joking.
That's actually one that I have seen, and then I should have. Where the Boys Are.
Because Gidget spawned Sally Fields doing the TV series.
Yeah, The Flying Nun.
Yeah. Flying Nun.
And it all goes back to Smokey and the Bandit.
By the way, how many seasons did The Flying Nun run? Long enough to get syndication.
I don't know why that nun gave Lincoln such a hard time.
He just couldn't keep her grounded.
I can't.
Oh, God.
This is not funny, but I can't breathe.
North Shore?
No, you're killing. I think we're good. All right.
Point Break. Nobody? Okay.
Point Break was on some list, but I didn't want to do it. It's just never. I don't have an attachment to that movie. I don't understand what people do.
And when I think about beach movies, I don't think about any of those. I wanted to bring up some that were on those lists.
I think of Surf Ninjas.
There's a couple. That's directed by Catherine Bigelow, right? I think she's extremely talented, but I do not. Only movie that was her last two. I loved The Hurt Locker. And
you almost said North Dallas 40.
I almost said North
Zero
Dallas
Dark 30.
Zero Dark 30 is her best film. Not The Hurt Locker, but Zero Dark 30.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll go watch.
Now,
I really want to watch Police Academy 5 now.
I do too.
All this you've said, I want to go watch that in One Crazy Summer.
By the way, Asylum, if you're watching, we will write the Ouch Trunk, which is our version of the Hurt Locker.
And FYI, the last movie that we should have done that I can't believe you all did, and I'm sorry, I've been going back and forth and was going to say it and didn't put it down because I thought one of you all would do, is Summer Rental by John Candy Summer Rental, which is actually directed by Carl Reiner, which is actually one of most movies that I loved growing up and I still like. You don't care for Summer Rental?
I prefer The Man with Two Brains.
That's Summer Rental is...
He goes on vacation. He's an air traffic controller, and he decides to go on vacation. He's very
stressed out.
He's very stressed out, and then they end up at the wrong house, and they get him, and then there's a beach access, and Richard Crenna takes his lobster. There, I told you the story. And then what happens at the end of it, gentlemen?
Can't remember.
Third act, they have to have a boat race. To see if he can stay the rest of the month at his summer rental, which is owned by, that's right, Richard Crenna. Who would go on to give us Leviathan, which is not a beach movie, but a movie I do enjoy.
So real quick, if we get nothing else...
No, he's in Rambo?
Richard Crenna, isn't he?
He's in Wrongfully Accused.
Isn't that the...
Yes, it's the same guy. I'm just shitting,
good Lord,
messing with you.
So, real quick, if you get nothing else from this...
Summer Rental.
if you do go on a beach vacation, there is at least, what, a 1 in 6 chance that you're going to have to do a boat race?
At least. I mean, if the 80s taught me anything, you're going to have to do a boat race so you can stay there. And who gets to stay a month at the beach? Now, even when I was a kid, I saw summer rental. I couldn't understand that. And now as a grown-ass man who has one of those actual decent jobs where you get vacation.
Watch this.
Oh,
well,
God, it's a faculty. Fuck you. There goes number 4.
Actually, this is a true story. One of my old faculty just posted photos, and she was like, "Oh, I'm going to take sabbatical, so I'll be here for 11 months." And I was like,
11 months where?
She is on the coast of New England on a beach there. It's very nice. She owns a home there.
And there we go.
I, by the way, am not that type of faculty, nor will I ever be.
All right, you folks who love Bonehead, go to the beach, enjoy yourselves this summer, enjoy your family.
And take Bonehead with you.
And take Bonehead with you.
Play us on the beach.
You can listen to 80-some episodes. If you have a long drive, we're the ones who will keep you up, will make you think of other thoughts other than the kids screaming in the back, wife won't leave you alone, or the husband won't shut up, or your new lover won't
or the people you have tied up in the trunk.
I was trying to say things that wouldn't be controversial, and now I just have to stop. The people in the trunk won't stop kicking the damn trunk because you didn't decide to kill them till you got to the beach.
Well, you do want to give them one last good sunset.
And then you want to reenact the whole episode of Creep Show where you basically with the Leslie Nielsen and the Ted Danson and you bury them.
That's a beach movie. That's
a beach part of a movie. And you want to do that and they won't shut up. Listen to the Bonehead on the way. Just turn us up a little bit. We got you here.
Hold on. No. You got to do that as a radio DJ. Turn it up and rip the knob off.
Turn it up. No. I'll try to do it. Turn it up. Just turn it up a little bit and we'll get you there. We're eastbound and down. We're loaded up and trucking. Don't you worry about that hobo in the trunk. Do. All right. Thank you so much. Go to the beach, enjoy your vacation, subscribe to
Wear the sunscreen because the melanoma ain't no joke.
On the iTunes, on the SoundCloud, on the Spotify, on the YouTubes. Rate us and share us, and we thank you so much.